I'm gonna start.
What?
This will be for you now. You are going to die tonight.
What are you talking about?
Unless you give it what it wants.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Screenstars. I'm here today to bring you my review of the 2025 horror Vicious. The film is written and directed by Byron Bertino and it stars Dakota Fanning, Catherine Hunter, Mary McCormack, Rachel Blanchard and Clee Scott. Now the film focuses on Dakota Fanning's character, Polly. Now Polly is somewhere at a crossroads in her life. She doesn't really have a lot going for her. She's following day. She's got a very important interview. You know, she's kind of directionless in her life. And this one fateful night, she gets a knock on her door by a little old woman who appears confused. She invites her in, Polly, sits her down, makes her a drink, and then Polly is presented by this old woman with the revelation that she has a gift for her, and this gift is a box. And then she tells her that she's going to die tonight, unless she gives the box three things: something you need, you've got to put in the box; something you hate, you've got to put in the box; and something you love has to go in the box. And then potentially you have got a chance of making it through the night. Obviously, Polly doesn't believe a word of it. She ejects the woman out into the streets. But ultimately, she is left with the box. And then after some strange occurrences start happening, she realizes she has to take this box absolutely seriously. Otherwise, you know, this is the end of the road for Polly. Right, what are my thoughts on Vicious? Well, I saw the trailer for this one a few weeks ago now, and I thought the trailer looked really, really interesting. I thought it looked like it could be a really solid horror film. It's got an interesting premise. I mean, we have seen ideas like this before, where, you know, strangers turn up with boxes and give them people, and all sorts of weird things, you know, continue after that. So it's not overly original in that concept in regards to the box. But if you like what the box wants, you know, there's something you need, there's something you hate, there's something you love, has to, you know, be placed in the box for you to, you know, live, I suppose. And the box knows if you are not sincere with what you're putting in, because it basically it screws with your head all night long. It screws with your head. You have phone calls with people that you think you know. Turns out they're not who you think they are. It's the box messing with you. You start seeing things. You start hearing things. You know, you question your sanity. You know, there's all manner of strange things happen with this box in your possession, and they're all kind of geared towards making you, as the recipient of this box, question everything, I suppose. That's the whole idea of this box, really. And I do think that the film has an interesting idea that it spreads thinly throughout the film. I don't feel as though the idea presents itself as a feature film. This felt more like it could have been better as a story in an anthology film or something like that. And ultimately, it seemed to me, regardless of what she did, Dakota Fanning's character Polly, even if she kind of gave it what it wants, you know, made these sacrifices that it was kind of demanding and gives it, it didn't seem to change anything. It was still messing with her, even after everything, sort of thing. And it didn't seem to me, and I don't know if it were just me, maybe losing focus or losing interest in the film, that it seemed pointless. It never really made it clear, the film, why you're doing this. What's it all about? What is this box? It just it just felt like there was answers missing. There was things missing, and it got a little bit confusing by the end. And I was certainly confused. I was a bit like, okay, well, what is happening here? You know, what is happening by the end of the film? You just couldn't kind of come to terms with what's going on, why it's going on. It just seemed like they had some cool ideas that they wanted to kind of put to screen, but a lot of them didn't seem to tie in with kind of what the box wants. You know, if it's wanting these things, it's asking for something you need, something you hate, something you love. Okay, I could understand it messing with you if you put something in that it didn't accept or it didn't think was sincere. For example, there's a scene in the film where, and this is in the trailer, so it's not a spoiler. She smokes, does Dakota Fanning's character, so she puts a packet of cigarettes in for the things you hate, shuts the lid, and it basically, you know, it says, nah, that ain't good enough. That's not really what you hate. We need you to go deeper than that. I mean, it doesn't say it like that, but that's what's clear. So you're kind of thinking, well, okay, you've got permission to mess with the person because, see, you know, they made their poor choice, sort of thing. But it seemed like it messed with you, whether you did something right or wrong. It didn't matter. And then if she went to kind of seek help from a neighbour or something horrifically horrible happens to them. But what could that neighbour do other than think they were bonkers? It's just like, it just seemed like things were happening in this film for the sake of it. And it felt like Dakota Fanning, who I thought gave a very, very strong, because she has to carry this film, a very, very strong central performance. It just felt like, to me, that they were pushing and pushing and pushing to try and get more out of her performance because she's a great actress. When sometimes it didn't need it, you know, they were kind of putting visions in the film for her to freak her out, and things crawling around sofas to scare her, and you're just thinking, well, what has this got anything to do with this box that we know nothing about? You know, so I found the whole thing anticlimactic. I found it confused, and it was really just a series of what's the right word? Disturbing visuals or things engineered to try and get a response from the audience member, or a jump scare from the audience member, or something like that. It didn't feel like a cohesive story to me, and the narrative just wasn't particularly strong. That's it. It just felt like a series of scenes put together with the idea of, you know, freaking out the audience member. And some of them are quite effective scenes, sort of thing, but it doesn't gel as a film, this. It doesn't work well overall as a film. And I can kind of see why it's like a Paramount Plus exclusive sort of thing. Because I would imagine this would have sunk without a trace at the cinema, because it's just not a strong enough narrative, and it doesn't do what you want it to do in regards to a horror film. But yeah, it's not a bad film or anything like that, and it's got a tremendously strong central performance and some creepy visuals here and there, but it's just not a cohesive story, and it doesn't make a great deal of sense. So that's my thoughts on Vicious. Let me know your thoughts if you've seen the film, and I will of course be back with plenty more content on the channel very, very soon.